Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it should be fun.
It's the connection between food and happiness.
Hmm.
Like that warm and fuzzy feeling you get when you're around people you love.
Yo.
Well, that's partly because of a hormone called oxytocin.
Uh-huh.
It's often called the love hormone,
Makes sense.
but it's not just about romance.
Right.
Oxytocin plays a much bigger role.
Oh.
Yeah, it affects our overall well-being.
Interesting. In what way?
Well, it helps with social bonding,
Okay.
trust, reducing stress,
Uh-huh.
even boosting our immune systems.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's like the ultimate feel-good chemical.
I like it already.
And here's the best part.
Okay.
We can actually influence our oxytocin levels
Oh, really?
through food.
Food.
You heard that right. We're going to be talking about 5 specific food groups today,
Okay.
all based on the YouTube video, Eat Your Way to Joy.
Yeah.
5 delicious foods that naturally boost oxytocin levels.
All right, let's hear it.
So get ready to tantalize your taste buds and boost your happiness at the same time.
Sounds like a plan.
First up, dark chocolate.
Oh, I love dark chocolate.
Who doesn't? But did you know it can actually boost your mood?
Well, I knew it was good for you.
It is,
Mm-hmm.
especially dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao.
Okay.
It's full of these things called flavonoids.
Flavonoids.
They're powerful antioxidants,
Oh, I've heard of those.
and they increase blood flow to the brain,
Interesting.
which helps release oxytocin,
Ah, so that's how it works.
like a delicious delivery system for happiness.
Affy, straight to the brain.
Exactly.
I like it.
And there's more.
Really?
Dark chocolate also has this compound called phenylethylamine.
Phenylethylamine.
Say that 5 times fast.
Uh-huh. No thanks.
But anyway, it triggers the release of endorphins.
Endorphins, like runner's high?
That's the one.
Wow, so you can get that from chocolate.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Right.
I always knew there was a reason I love dark chocolate so much.
We talked about the 70% cacao thing.
Yeah, why is that so important?
Well, the higher the cacao percentage,
Uh-huh.
the more flavonoids you get.
Makes sense.
And less sugar, too.
Oh, that's good.
You want that rich, complex flavor
Yeah.
without the sugar crash.
So it's all about quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Tried it.
So basically, a small piece of high-quality dark chocolate every day.
Yeah.
It's like a little investment in your well-being.
I can get behind that.
And, bonus,
There's more.
dark chocolate's been linked to improved heart health
Okay.
and reduced stress.
Wow, win-win.
All right, next on our happiness menu, spicy foods.
Spicy food.
Yeah,
Well,
who knew that setting your mouth on fire could actually make you happier?
honestly, I did not know that.
It does. That burning sensation from chili peppers.
Yeah.
It comes from this compound called capsaicin.
Capsaicin. Okay.
It actually triggers the release of both endorphins
Hmm.
and oxytocin.
So basically, your body's like, hey, this hurts.
Better release some feel-good chemicals to balance things out.
I guess that makes sense.
It's like turning up the heat on happiness.
I like that.
But not everyone can handle super spicy food.
Right.
That's okay. You don't need to eat the hottest pepper in the world.
Good, because I could never.
You can start small, like with chili flakes.
Oh, yeah.
Or a dash of hot sauce.
I could do that.
Just a little bit can make a difference.
It's good to know.
You can always adjust the spice level to what you like.
Makes sense.
I love adding a sprinkle of red pepper flakes to my pasta.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Gives a little kick.
I love Thai curries. They're spicy, but also sweet and savory.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Speaking of delicious,
Yeah.
and good for you,
Uh-huh.
let's talk about fermented foods.
Fermented foods. Like what?
Kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt,
Oh, okay, yeah.
all those tangy, flavorful treats.
Right.
They're actually really good for you.
How so?
They're full of these things called probiotics.
Probiotics, I've heard of those.
They're beneficial bacteria that live in our gut.
Right.
And get this, the gut is constantly talking to our brain.
Whoa, what?
It's true. Through this network of nerves and chemicals.
Wow.
It's called the gut-brain axis.
The gut-brain axis.
Catchy, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I guess so.
So basically what we eat can actually influence how we feel.
Through our gut.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know, right? And those probiotics in fermented foods,
Yeah.
they help regulate neurotransmitters in the gut,
Neurotransmitters.
like serotonin,
Oh, okay.
which then leads to more oxytocin.
Wait, so eating fermented foods
Mhm.
helps produce serotonin,
Right.
which then leads to more oxytocin.
Exactly. It's a chain reaction of happiness.
Mind blown.
Right. It's like having a garden,
Yeah.
but inside of you.
Uh-huh.
And a healthy gut is essential,
Yeah.
not just for digestion,
Right.
but for our overall well-being.
Including mood and all that.
Exactly. So where should people start if they're new to fermented foods?
Good question.
Well, yogurt's always a good option.
Yeah, yogurt's easy.
Look for the kind with live and active cultures.
Okay.
And I love kimchi.
Kimchi's great. So much flavor.
It has a nice crunch, too.
Yeah, and it's spicy.
And tangy.
And don't forget, packed with probiotics.
It's a powerhouse. You can add it to stir fries, rice bowls, even eggs.
So versatile.
So many options.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to food group number 4. Foods rich in tryptophan.
Tryptophan.
I know what you're thinking.
Go on.
Doesn't that make you sleepy after Thanksgiving dinner?
Haha. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's the common misconception.
Oh, is it?
Tryptophan does play a role in sleep,
Okay.
but it's also crucial for making serotonin.
Which, as we've discussed, is linked to oxytocin.
Exactly.
So it's like a double agent.
Helping us sleep and boosting our happiness.
I like it.
And the best part is, tryptophan is found in all sorts of delicious foods.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Turkey, eggs, nuts, seeds,
Okay.
even cheese.
Cheese.
We can get our happiness boost from everyday foods.
Yeah, I love that.
How can our listeners easily add more tryptophan to their diets?
Well, you can start simple, like adding walnuts to your oatmeal.
Oh, yeah. Or having a hard-boiled egg as a snack.
Those are easy.
Right. Or how about a turkey and avocado sandwich?
Delicious.
Packed with tryptophan.
It's all about those little changes that add up.
I agree.
Okay, ready for our final oxytocin-boosting food group,
Hit me with it.
omega-3 fatty acids.
Omega-3s, those are good for your brain, right?
They are, but most people don't know they can affect our oxytocin levels too.
Really? How does that work?
Omega-3s are essential for a healthy brain,
Uh-huh.
and that includes the production of neurotransmitters.
Including oxytocin.
You got it. Think of them as brain food that keeps things running smoothly.
Like oil for the happiness engine.
Haha, I like that. And there are so many tasty sources of omega-3s,
Yeah.
like fatty fish, like salmon, mackerel, sardines.
Oh, I love salmon.
Me too. It's so
Yeah.
versatile. You can bake it, grill it, pan-sear it.
Yeah, there are so many ways to prepare it.
And if you don't like fish,
Yeah.
you can get omega-3s from plant-based sources,
Oh, really?
like flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts.
You can sprinkle them on salads or yogurt,
Uh-huh.
or even blend them into smoothies.
So many options.
Getting your omega-3s doesn't have to be complicated.
I'm seeing a theme here.
Small changes, big impact.
I like it.
What stood out to you the most from all these foods?
Honestly, it's just so cool how something as simple as adding some spice to your food or eating some kimchi can have such a big impact on how you feel.
It really is. It's a reminder that taking care of ourselves doesn't have to be a chore.
Totally. It can be fun and delicious.
We've explored 5 food groups that can naturally boost oxytocin and make us happier.
And they're all easy to incorporate into your diet.
Exactly. But we've only just scratched the surface.
Oh, there's more.
We'll be back to discuss some personal anecdotes and dig deeper into the gut-brain connection.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, it really is remarkable how much food can affect our mood.
It is. Before the break, you mentioned those small changes piqued your interest.
Yeah. What about them?
What specifically was so interesting about them?
Well, it's easy to feel kind of overwhelmed with all the information out there about health and nutrition.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you focus on those simple things, those enjoyable changes,
Right.
you can really make a difference
Yeah.
without feeling like you're changing your whole life.
It's about making it sustainable.
Exactly. Finding things that make you happy.
Yeah.
And that happen to be good for you too.
I've found that fermented foods have been a game changer for me.
Yeah. How so?
I used to think kimchi and sauerkraut were only in specialty stores.
Right.
But now I see how easy it is
Oh, yeah.
to just add them to meals.
That's cool.
You mentioned the gut-brain connection blew your mind.
Totally.
Me too. I read this article about how the bacteria in our gut can actually affect anxiety.
Seriously.
It's crazy to think those tiny organisms
Yeah.
have such a big impact on our mental health.
It really is revolutionary. We used to just think the gut was for digestion.
Right.
But now we know it plays a much bigger role
So much more.
in our well-being.
That vagus nerve, the communication highway
Oh, yeah, the vagus nerve.
between the gut and brain.
Constantly sending signals back and forth.
And those signals
Yeah.
are affected by all the bacteria in our gut.
It's like we're not just feeding ourselves.
Right.
We're feeding a whole ecosystem.
Exactly. And when we feed that ecosystem the right way,
With probiotics and all that.
it can benefit both our physical
Yeah.
and mental health.
Like tending a garden, but
Yeah.
the garden's inside us.
It's amazing that we have so much control
I know, right?
over our health and happiness.
And it's not just what we eat.
We all.
It's also how we eat.
Okay.
Slowing down, savoring our food,
Being present.
paying attention to how our bodies feel.
It's all connected.
Mindful eating is so important.
It's a buzzword for sure,
Yeah.
but it really does make a difference.
It really does. I used to rush through my meals,
Uh-huh.
and I would always feel kind of unsatisfied, even
Yeah.
a bit anxious afterwards.
I've been there.
But when you take your time
Yeah.
and actually enjoy your food,
Savor each bite.
it's a completely different experience.
It's almost meditative.
Right. Mindful eating lets us listen to our bodies
To those cues.
when we're actually hungry
Uh-huh.
and when we've had enough,
It's a deeper connection with food,
in appreciation for what we're eating.
shifting our focus from just consuming
Right.
to actually experiencing.
I like that.
It can change our whole perspective.
It can impact our well-being.
We've talked about those 5 food groups.
Yeah, oxytocin boosters.
Dark chocolate,
Yeah.
spicy foods, fermented foods, tryptophan-rich foods, omega-3s.
And mindful eating, can't forget that.
But I'm curious,
Yeah.
what else about this topic really intrigues you?
You know, it's fascinating how differently people react to food.
Oh, yeah.
What might boost one person's mood
Uh-huh.
could have a totally different effect on someone else.
There's no one-size-fits-all.
Exactly. We all have unique bodies.
And our bodies respond differently. It's about finding what works for you.
We have to pay attention to those individual cues.
Yeah.
It's like we all become our own food scientists.
Uh-huh. I like it.
Experimenting and seeing what makes us feel our best.
What energizes us?
What brings us comfort.
What makes us sluggish?
It's a journey.
A journey worth taking, for sure.
I think so too.
Food is more than just fuel.
Definitely.
It's pleasure, connection, even healing.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with a challenge,
Okay.
an invitation, really.
Let's hear it.
Pay attention to how you feel after eating different foods this week.
Notice those patterns.
What makes you feel your best?
And share your experiences with us on social media.
We'd love to hear from you.
We're all in this together.
Supporting each other.
On this food journey
Discovering the power of food.
to enhance our well-being.
Beautifully said. And remember,
Yeah.
every meal is a chance to nourish your body
Uh-huh.
and boost your happiness.
Eat with joy.
Eat with joy. I love that.
Thanks for having me on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure. And to our listeners,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us.
Until next time.
Happy eating, everyone.
Yeah. It's amazing what we're learning.
It is. Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I wanted to circle back to those personal anecdotes.
Oh, right. The stories.
Have you ever, noticed a clear link?
Between food and how I felt.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Tell me about it.
Okay. So one time I was super stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
I had this deadline and I was working late.
Yeah.
I was so tempted to just order takeout.
Yeah. Feel that.
But then I remembered what we talked about.
Had a gut-brain connection.
Exactly. So instead, I made myself a meal with salmon,
Okay.
roasted veggies, and kimchi on the side.
Nice.
And I felt so much better after.
Really?
Yeah. More energy, more focused,
Wow.
way less stressed.
That's awesome, putting that knowledge into action.
It really works.
I have similar experiences with dark chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm feeling down or need a boost, a little piece of good quality dark chocolate,
Yeah.
it does wonders for me.
I can see that.
So it's self-care.
It is. Taking care of ourselves doesn't have to be hard.
Right.
It can be as easy as enjoying a good meal.
Exactly. Finding those little things
Yeah.
that bring us joy.
And making them a part of our lives.
I think we've covered a lot today.
We have. It's been a lot of fun.
We talked about food and happiness,
The science behind it all.
oxytocin boosting foods.
Mindful eating.
It's been a delicious deep dive.
Uh-huh. It really has.
I hope our listeners feel inspired
To keep learning.
to experiment.
Yeah. And find what works best for them.
There's no one right answer.
Everyone's different.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us on this journey.
It's been a pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there,
Yeah.
happy eating.